There's a number sitting in a blood test you've probably already had, and it can light up like a warning sign years, sometimes a full decade, before any doctor ever says the word diabetes to you. Most men never get told about it because they're looking at the wrong number on the page. Today I'm going to show you the right one, and I'm going to show you why the very first place this trouble shows up isn't your pancreas at all. It's your circulation, and specifically the blood flow where it matters most to a man. Stay with me because the part most men get wrong comes later, and it's the part that decides whether this is reversible or not. Let me set the stage. We all picture diabetes as a sudden thing. You go to the doctor, they check your blood sugar, and one day it's too high. But that's not how it actually happens. The truth is your body spends years in a quiet phase before that. A phase almost nobody talks about. It's called insulin resistance. And here's the thing. During that whole stretch, your fasting blood sugar can look totally normal. You could get a clean bill of health and walk out thinking everything's fine, while the damage is already underway. Here's what's really going on. Insulin is the hormone that moves sugar out of your blood and into your cells for energy. When your cells start to get a little deaf to insulin's signal, that's the resistance. Your body just makes more insulin to force the job done. So your blood sugar stays normal on paper, but your insulin is quietly running high in the background, year after year. And high insulin, riding along with sugar that spikes after meals, is hard on one specific tissue first, the thin, delicate lining of your blood vessels, the endothelium. Now this is the core of everything, so let me make it plain. Firmness, performance, vitality below the belt, that's mostly a blood flow event. It depends on healthy blood vessels and on a little molecule called nitric oxide, which is what tells those vessels to relax and open up so blood can rush in. When sugar and insulin stay elevated, they damage that vessel lining and they drop your nitric oxide. The vessels can't open the way they should. And here's the part that matters. The vessels that supply performance are small, much smaller than the ones around your heart, so they show the damage first. Years before your heart ever complains, the circulation down there starts to fade. That's why a change in morning strength isn't just a bedroom issue. It's one of the earliest readouts of your whole vascular system. It's your body's check engine light, and it comes on early. Honestly, when I first learned this, I was skeptical. It felt too neat. But the more I read, the more it lined up. The small vessel idea is well established, and it reframes the whole thing. The fading you might be noticing isn't just age, it's information. So which number tells you you're in that silent phase? Most doctors will run a standard fasting glucose and call it a day. But there's a marker that researchers use as a simple, accessible proxy for insulin resistance, and it's been getting a lot of attention. It's called the TYG index. TYG. It stands for triglyceride glucose. And the beautiful part is, it's built from two numbers that are almost certainly already on a blood test you've had, your fasting triglycerides and your fasting glucose. You don't need a fancy specialty panel. Research suggests a higher TYG is linked to greater insulin resistance, and it tends to rise during that quiet window, long before standard sugar readings tip you off. So let's actually do this together right now. Go find an old lab report, a physical printout, the patient portal on your phone, an email from the clinic, whatever you've got. Pause me if you need to and go grab it. I'll wait. Got it? Good. Look for two lines. Triglycerides and glucose, both fasting, both usually measured in milligrams per deciliter in the US. Now here's the simple part. I'm not going to make you do hard math, and I'm not going to give you a magic cutoff to diagnose yourself because that's your doctor's job. But just look at the two of them together. If your triglycerides are creeping up, say comfortably over 150, and your glucose is sitting in that high normal or pre-range in the upper part of the scale, those two riding high at the same time is exactly the pattern that pushes the TYG index up. That combination is the quiet signal. You don't need the exact formula today. You just need to see whether both of those numbers are drifting north together. If they are, that's your early warning, and it's also your opportunity. Write those two numbers down somewhere, you'll see them. And that brings me to the part most men get wrong, the part I promised you. They assume that because there's no diagnosis, there's nothing to do, so they wait. They wait until it's an official problem. But that silent phase, that stretch of years before the label, is the single best window you will ever get. Because insulin resistance, caught early, is one of the most responsive things in the whole body. The vessel lining can heal. Nitric oxide can come back up. This is the reversal window, and waiting is the one thing that closes it. There's a natural blood flow support I personally like for this season of life. I left it down in the description if you ever want to look into it. No pressure at all, it's just there. Now what actually moves the needle? None of this is exotic. First lever, walk after you eat. Even 10 or 15 minutes after your biggest meal pulls sugar out of your blood without any extra insulin needed because working muscle soaks it up directly. It's quietly one of the most powerful things you can do. Second, build a little muscle. Muscle is like a sponge for blood sugar. The more you have, the more room your body has to park sugar instead of letting it climb. A couple of simple resistance sessions a week is plenty to start. Third, look hard at the steady drip of refined carbs and sugary drinks, the stuff that keeps your insulin running high all day. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to ease that constant load. Fourth, protect your sleep, because even a few short nights can nudge insulin resistance up the very next day. And fifth, those nitric oxide-friendly foods, leafy greens, beets, that family, which give your vessels the raw material to open up the way they're meant to. None of these are dramatic on their own, but stacked together, run over weeks and months inside that reversal window, they're how you reclaim the small vessel circulation that fuels your firmness, your stamina, and your energy. Let me close the loop I opened at the start. That number, the TYG pattern, your triglycerides and glucose drifting up together, it's not a sentence. It's a head start. It's your body handing you years of warning that most men throw away simply because nobody told them to look. You look today. That already puts you ahead. So here's what I do. Keep that old lab handy, and next time you get blood work, ask your doctor specifically about your fasting triglycerides, your glucose, and whether the TYG index makes sense to track for you. And if you're on any medication, never change it on your own. Talk to your doctor first, always. This is about adding awareness, not taking anything away. And like I mentioned, if you want to check out the blood flow support I use, it's down in the description. Only if you're curious. You've got more control over this than anyone ever told you, and the window is open right now. Take care of those vessels, and they'll take care of you for a long time yet. Quick reminder before you go, this is general education, not medical advice, so anything specific to your health, run it by your own doctor. I'll see you in the next one.